2024 Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association General Forum. Special thanks to Docomo Pacific and Hyatt Regency Guam. We are committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. We do not endorse or support any political candidates or parties. Our goal is to empower individuals to make informed decisions and exercise their right to vote.
Good evening and hafa day, everybody. I'm Jason Salas on behalf of KUM News, and welcome to a wonderful evening of information, of consideration, and of practicing democracy. I'm joined by my broadcast colleague, Matsuki Hirayama. Hafa day.
Hafa day, everyone. Welcome to the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce 2024 General Election Forum. We hope all of you enjoy today.
All right. So, welcome to those in attendance, as well as those of us watching on KUM TV8, streaming us on Peacock, or streaming us on YouTube and Facebook. Your community participation in this forum is greatly appreciated. It's being brought to you and hosted by the members of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association. The Women's Chamber is committed to advancing women in business through advocacy, networking, mentorship, and access to resources.
Right, and now the organizations have invited all senatorial and congressional candidates to participate and are providing this platform for candidates to share their perspectives, ideas, and plans to address important community issues and concerns. Both the GWCC and GHRA encourage voters to share what they've heard tonight and to learn more about your senators and their important work at www.guamlegislature.com.
Okay, we have several of the candidates seeking your endorsement to be members of the forthcoming 38th Guam Legislature. We would like to recognize them now. Starting on the left side of your screen, Yuloyo Shawn Gumataotao, first-time candidate. Also joining us, David Crisostomo. A current senator in our legislature, the Very Honorable Senator Tom Fisher. And joining us as well, candidate Bistra Mendiola. Hafa day. Now, just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, as we are recording this and bringing it to you right now, the members of the legislature are currently in emergency session. They are voting on a number of very, very important bills. Matsuki, you've been covering this, among other things, the budget. They have indicated that they are wrapping up voting, and they are making plans to be with us here tonight. But we are going to start with the candidates that have very generously and graciously given us some of their time.
All right, now I just want to introduce the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce officers. Regine.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lonnie Tumendok. I'm the Vice President of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Along with me is Ms. Regine Lee, who is our Secretary and also chairing the government committee, who's done a wonderful job of putting all this together. We have Ms. Maria Yamarura, who is our treasurer, and we just want to thank you all for being here this evening. We'd like to welcome you all to the GWCC and GHRA General Election Forum. We're pleased to present the Women's Chamber Legislative Impact Report for the 37th Guam Legislature.
Legislative Impact Report for the 37th Guam Legislature. This impact report will include information about our government committee, a quick snapshot of the state of Guam's women in business, and the results of our impact survey. The government committee influences legislative policies on issues facing women in business and the workplace, advocates for competitive wages and benefits for women, and increases awareness of the importance of women on the island's economic, social, and cultural platform. The government committee is made up of members of the Women's Chamber who represent a variety of industries and professions, all advocating for the importance of women to Guam's economic, social, and cultural growth.
Thanks, Lonnie. This next slide focuses on the state of Guam's women in business. This information is from the 2022 census on island areas. And what it tells us is that out of the total of 3,412 establishments on Guam, about 35% are male-owned, 15.7% are female-owned, and 9% are 50-50. What's also shown in this graph is 39.5% where the gender or status of ownership was not known or reported. And this data really tells us that we still have a lot of work to do in pushing for equal opportunity for women in business. Next slide. GWCC is committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. Our goal really is to educate our membership on issues that impact women in business so they can make informed decisions when they exercise their right to vote. We reviewed the bills introduced by the 37th Guam legislature and identified the top 6 that we felt had the greatest impact to women in business on Guam. And then, during our Fanatsu Famalawan Leadership Summit in September, we launched a survey to all the attendees to see which bills resonated the most with them. We received over 150 responses, and this slide shows the percentage of employment. So a majority of the respondents were private employees, with 21% entrepreneurs and small business owners participating. And then the third largest group were government employees at 16.4%. The lion's share of this group, over 83% of respondents, were registered voters. 12.5% were not registered, and 3.29% were not eligible to vote. Next slide. The top 6 bills introduced in the first 18 months of this term are reflected in this impact report, along with their status as indicated on the Guam Legislature's website. We also will feature the members of the legislature in Guahan who have championed these efforts. And again, we encourage voters to register to vote, to stay tuned to tonight's legislative and congressional forum, and learn more about your senators and the work that they're doing online at guamlegislature.com. Next slide. Rounding out our top 6 bills were Bill number 176, 220, and 318. Bill 176 is sponsored by Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munya Barnes, and it increases efficiency and modernizes operation through an automated system for Guam Customs and Quarantine. This measure was co-sponsored by Senators San Nicolas, Lujan, Dueñas, Shelton, San Augustine, Burnett, Terlahi, Quinata, Parkinson, and Blas. This bill passed and is now Public Law 37-82. Bill number 220 to expand the business privilege tax exemptions list to include prescription drugs was introduced in December 2023 by Senator Jesse Lujan and was referred to the Committee on General Government Operations and Appropriations, and this has not yet had a hearing. This measure is co-sponsored by Senators Dueñas, Blas, Fisher, and Barnett. Bill number 318 appropriates $400,000 in funding for the Guahandula project. This measure was sponsored by Senator Tom Fisher, and while this funding was added to the legislature's supplemental appropriations bill, a motion to remove this language and cancel funding for the doula program was made by Speaker Therese Terlahi earlier this week. The bill's co-sponsors are Senators San Augustine, Quinata, Parkinson, San Nicolas, Dueñas, Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, and Senators Lujan and Shelton. Next slide. In third on our legislative impact survey, we acknowledge Senator Frank Blas Jr. for introducing Bill 80, which, if passed, would appropriate $1 million of excess revenues to Guam Unique Merchandise and Art, GUMA, which provides incubator training and resources to advance local products, artists, and service concepts into sustainable businesses that can compete in a retail environment. This bill is currently included for consideration in the supplemental budget bill, and if our reports are correct, they just voted on it and it passed. So we congratulate Senator Frank Blas Jr. for this bill, and we invite the community to learn more about the work that GUMA is doing online at gumaguam.com. With the second highest number of survey votes, we acknowledge Senator Will Parkinson for introducing Bill 162, which, if passed, would update the Women's Reproductive Health Act of 2012, which is a bipartisan measure to expand access to health care. The measure is co-sponsored by Senator Tom Fisher, and it was introduced in August of 2023, referred to the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, chaired by Speaker Terlahi. A hearing was held on February 12, 2024, And since then, no further action has been taken by the committee on this measure for the past 9 months. On the bill, Senator Parkinson has said, and I quote, "I firmly believe that every person should have the right to make informed decisions about their own body and health care." And we thank Senator Parkinson for Bill 162-37. And with the highest number of survey votes, we again acknowledge Senator Will Parkinson for introducing Bill 85-37. This measure is co-sponsored by Senators Shelton, Fisher, San Nicolas, Vice Speaker Munya-Barnes, and Senator Lujan. Bill 85 passed unanimously by the 37th Guam Legislature and extends family care and medical leave for miscarriages and stillbirths. GWCC provided testimony in support of this measure, and I quote, "The Chamber further acknowledges that miscarriages are devastating and at the same time extremely common. It is important that employees who experience miscarriage or stillbirth be allowed ample amount of leave to heal both physically and emotionally." And again, we thank Senator Will Parkinson and his co-sponsors for Bill 85-37. Additional feedback from survey respondents included concerns about maintenance and repair of GDOE schools, public safety, outdated zoning laws, support for a revised cottage law, updating government services, fixing our broken procurement system, and updating the legislature's website with current bill status and committee reports for legislative transparency. We thank the legislative candidates who are participating in today's forum and look forward to working with the members of the 38th Guam Legislature on these measures and policies that impact women in business. This impact report will be shared on the GWCC social media and available to review on our website at guamwomenschamber.com. And with that, Indangkluna si Diyos maasi, maraming salamat po, and thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. Once again, the officers of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. All right, there is a little interesting twist to the way we do questions. This is very, very positive and certainly for the benefit of everybody watching right now. Now, we did receive feedback from the previous forum that we did. And for tonight's forum, we will allow a one-time 30-second lifeline. You have these cards in front of you. You may use them just one time, everybody. At any time during your introduction, during the response to the topical questions, or for closing statements, you can raise the card and then put it down, and then you will be allotted 30 more seconds should you choose to fill like 30 seconds. But that being said, we do also want to recognize, joining us right now, one of our honorable senators, Roy Quinata, has joined us. Hafa Senator, buenas. We do appreciate you being here.
All right, let's begin. Please introduce yourselves. For the incumbents, tell us one piece of legislation that you introduced that you're most proud of. And for new candidates, please tell us, if elected, what your top legislative priority will be. You have 60 seconds.
And let's start on the left with Shawn Gumataotao, if you would, please.
Well, thank you everyone for being here, and I want to thank the Guam Women's Chamber and the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association for having me. I just wanted to start, if I could, a little bit similarly to the primary. In 2013, when the Women's Chamber was founded, not in the very first membership drive, my wife was invited to come and join you all. And our company, Get LLC, joined the Women's Chamber. Economic conditions happened, and we weren't unable to stay on. That's why I'm running, is these economic conditions that are facing not just women-owned small businesses, but all businesses on Guam. And you asked a question about what would be the first measure or the like. I really believe we should roll back the business privilege tax, and we should do so immediately. It will allow small businesses like ours and others to be able to reinvest in their small business, their fleets, and training. And I'm here to listen, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Shawn Gumataotao. Next with his about 60 seconds, please, David Crisostomo.
My name is David Crisostomo. I was born and raised here in Guam. Actually born here, and I was raised in Gumataotao. One of my focus, if I do get elected, because I am a small business owner, we could start passing legislation that will make small business very, very favorable and very, very friendly. And let's take one good look at this, the dates on this act. You know, the 50K. You know, that's the way back. That should be increased. And this way, it'll offer people to take that risk, having that opportunity, you know, to expand their business and basically grow all the small business. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Crisostomo. 60 seconds to Senator Tom Fisher, please, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Tom Fisher. I'm currently a member of the 37th Guam Legislature. What have I done that I'm most proud of? Clearly, you were bill. You got killed, but I'm feeling take care of the government's work. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. I'm not returning to 38. That's fine. Somebody will pick that up, and we will get into a bill passed. We are going to reduce infant mortality and we're going to reduce maternal mortality. The other thing I'm proud of is the first thing I introduced was a legislative submission to codify Roe v. Wade on this island, so nobody ever has to worry again about whether or not they're going to have governments over their own body. I'm terrified as a result of jobs. The 40th Guam legislature, for example, might actually come in and outlaw it. It's possible, but I feel that the legislature would be very reluctant to do so if they know the people of Guam, I'm guessing 70 to 80% want Roe back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Mendiola, 60 seconds for your intro, please.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to Guam Chamber of Commerce. I'm very happy to be among peers. I'm a small business owner as well, and I'm a mom, and of course, as you can see, I'm a woman, so I feel quite fit the criteria. Because of the length of my answer, I have a very short time. If you're curious about Korean, where I come from, and my background, please visit my website. It's Bistra.com, FOR1.com. There's plenty of information, so I'm going to dive right in. Always I have been amazed that there's so many people who can do something. Want go into the legislature with the greatest amount of desire to improve things. And unfortunately, we can't. So my goal is this. Try not to be successful, be of value. And if I get into the legislature, the first time.
All right, so Ms. Mendiola, use this for 30 seconds.
I'm doing research myself as a newcomer. So the minute government, if we get into the legislature, I will start working on the pretty much 30 bills that I have been collecting the last 2 years. And I wanted to mention that the cottage bill is one of those bills because as a small business owner, I wanted to make this happen for all the moms out there that can have an extra gift and all the families are trying to make ends meet. And that's a great bill. I want to be reintroducing it government. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And finally, Senator Roy Quinata, you have 60 seconds.
Thank you so much. I just want to give a shout out to the Guam Women's Chamber, to the Restaurant Association. Thank you guys so much for your time, for being here, and those who are watching first. We really appreciate you guys taking time to be here. I'm Roy Quinata. I'm the youngest senator as of right now. I'm a member of the 37th Guam Legislature. I'm very proud to be a senator. I'm very blessed for this opportunity at a very young age. And I want to continue the hard work and ensure that the next generation doesn't face the same challenges as the previous. I know that in my short term as a legislator, I introduced legislation, and I'm always going to try to ensure that the next generation doesn't face the same challenges. I introduced one of the best bills, I think, is ensuring that you can have a driver's license for 8 years, so you don't have to stay in line at DRT and wait longer, and that's efficiency, right? We can streamline government services, also the digital footprint. I think you can cut a lot of the bureaucratic red tape. So I'm all about small business and entrepreneurship. I want to continue to advocate, maybe increase some more access property for business opportunity, and raise the leasing opportunity also for government lands. Thank you so much.
All right, Mrs. Masi, Senator. Ladies and gentlemen, your candidates. Okay, at this time, we would like to recognize the presence of our beloved Makahaga, the Chief Executive, ladies and gentlemen, of the Government of Guam. Governor Luliangaro is here. Okay, we are going to begin the Q&A real quick. I do want to get some guidance from our members, our officers from the Women's Chamber. We had planned with the senators in session to go directly with the questions for the non-incumbents, but Regine, seeing as how we have senators here, we just stick with the plan? So we're going to go. Okay, so we'll begin with question number 1 for Metsuki. Hear me out.
All right, this is a question for new candidates. In alphabetical order, starting from candidates Crisostomo, Gumataotao, and Mendiola. If elected, in what ways do you envision leveraging local resources and partnerships to bolster the economic resilience of our region's small businesses, especially in the face of challenges such as economic downturns or changing market conditions? Candidate Crisostomo, you have 60 seconds.
Okay, so I think pretty much everyone was to bring back the economy and bring the business, sales business, actually was out of California. And one of the biggest things that we need to do is that we need to actually ask the visitors, get their hot dog, so we say, and I like to travel a lot. And we're not travel to places where I have to stay and drink. And as for the small business, we need to, like I said earlier, we need to start pushing legislation, on this is very favorable. A lot of those services are maybe, like I said, the post office app, and we need to increase that. So in their minds, they can keep going. And this will be very beneficial.
Thank you, candidate Crisostomo. Candidate Gumataotao, 60 seconds, your turn.
According to the question, actually, I think we have to, as a government, the legislature, support all these efforts of funding the current Guam Department of Agriculture Fund. We need to reinvest into our farming, into our fisheries, and into our livestock industries. We are all going to be here at some point, and we need to protect the food that we're all consuming in the state of itself, all in our home. And we need to get a time that particular that allows all of us to be when we're at our homes and consuming different types of products that it's something kind of lazy and not. So we need to give a kind of a great plan. It's community driven and something that we take that the time to be it, but also have a ways to do the next situation actually those things plan last.
Thank you. And I just want to say hello to Senator Sabina Perez, and Senator Will Parkinson is also arriving on stage. And candidate Mendiola, you have 60 seconds.
From a local perspective, when we are dealing with the shortage of electric pharmacies, you can see there's a lot of requests coming in from the industry. What the government can do to increase the economy? Well, I think that there's number one, we need to attract new businesses from outside of the best education, hospital business, medical clinics. That's through the PG process, we already have it right now, using 8% beyond insurance and banking. On the second pillar of my previous campaign was always farming and fisheries, increasing that, but also want to add on top, we need to start educating our folks and incentivizing them, like previous ones that I've seen grants for home farming. Victory gardens is another way to go because food security is one of the top issues that have been on our minds since 2022. This is the first time I believe it's absolutely crucial that we start educating our children in the sense of fishery. That's how we start. The government needs to start this process.
Thank you very much. All right, well done. Now, once again, Senators Parkinson and Perez, of course, you have those cards in front of you, the one-time 30-second lifeline should you choose to use it at any time. All right, the next question is for the incumbents, and we'll start with Senator Tom Fisher. Mention one legislative solution, Senator, that you have pursued while in office to benefit Guam students and the future of our workforce. 60 seconds, please.
I want to spend on students. I'd like to address that also first. Even if you have great total and go to 11 that unfortunately 37 hours of school. You can see number one goal. The number one goal is to get the job. Every Sunday we have a number of walks, and we have to absolutely make sure that those people in school we get teaching schools, we engage in teaching schools, and we can successfully educate our children. That's the future. That is the future. The fact that we're leading the future, for obvious reasons, we have a responsibility. We have an absolute responsibility, not just as senators, but as citizens, to make sure that this next generation, and that this next generation is
Thank you very much, Senator. Okay, we're going in alphabetical order with the incumbents now, so let's go to Senator Will Parkinson. Senator, same question to you. What legislative solution have you pursued while in office benefiting Guam students and the future of our workforce?
Well, a particular piece of legislation that I'm particularly proud of is requiring compliance for Americans with Disability Act for a lot of our school facilities. I come from a background of being a caretaker of somebody who needed their services, and so whenever I saw that they were not adequate here, I really felt it. And I imagine many other people felt it. And as we were going through a couple of years, one of the people that testified made the point that these accommodations with ADA compliance, that's not just good for people with Americans with disabilities, that's good for everybody. That is good for all across the board. And so during my legislative term, I made sure that I was going to rebuild these schools with money that I needed to recommend state experience with disabilities to get our schools to be able to learn.
Well done, Senator. And the microphone doesn't have to travel too far because directly next to you is Senator Perez. Senator Perez, same question to you, please.
So I think, actually, I think two things is early childhood literacy is basically, we know that some of our children have really poor hospitals, and so they end up with assessment every morning before they get to school. So those are the things that I find for education for recruiting. And so I've been working with the Department of all the educational stakeholders to try to develop a plan so that we can basically increase literacy since compared to age grades. The other thing that I'm working with GCC, and this is what I would also GCC on this, to kind of integrate this with the adult hospital program, because early childhood literacy as they go through the capture of the hospital program. This can also be a several ways to early childhood literacy. This is really game changer.
Thank you, Senator. That's your time. Thank you very much. And finally, Senator Roy Quinata, with your thoughts on programs that you have initiated benefiting our students and the future of our workforce.
Thank you so much for that question. My apologies for that technical difficulty. Certainly, I support charter schools. I think we need to invest in other opportunities for our next generation to choose their direction in life. Not everyone is fit for higher education, but I think giving people the opportunity or the option to choose which way they want to go, entrepreneurship, they want to be a plumber, they want to be a business person. You know, there's so many opportunities out there that are beyond the university and beyond the higher educational position. So I think investing in those opportunities and giving that to the next generation is one of those legislations I very much support. And I think charter schools offering other opportunities beyond the standard STEM program is a good option, again, that we can continue to force and support to make sure that the children have an option and they have a choice, right? So that's my answer. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Senator. And the next question is to all the candidates and sitting senators. With the news this week that a location in Mangilao will be the site for the new public hospital, how will you work to build a consensus and move forward with policies to support the construction of a new hospital? And we'll start going this way with Senator Quinata.
Well, you know, I think that medical campus should have been done yesterday, right, Governor? So, I think, yes, very much applauds to the front office. But I think we need to invest in the healthcare industry. I think there's a lot of opportunity. We can be the medical city of the Marianas. We can also attract other businesses to invest in our island, and, we can give them QCs to, again, we can educate the next generation of medical assistants. We can work with St. Luke's, because I don't know, a lot of our people on Guam, we have a mini Guam in St. Luke's, if you didn't know that. So I think we can have a mini St. Luke's here, and we can help envision what the governor has with the medical campus and encourage the younger generation to step up and be medical assistants, nurses, medical assistants. There's so many opportunities out there, and I think we just need that medical campus to come online and then start bringing more people onto those opportunities. The firemen as well, the EMT services, that's a great investment that we can also see on the campus. And also, we're going to operate new services up there. Thank you so much.
Could we pass one of those mics to candidate Bistra, Mendiola? Thank you. Candidate, 60 seconds.
During a recent interview with Canada News, I did stipulate that I am also on favor of medical campus. We need a new hospital. The one that we have right now is a senatorial hospital. My greatest concern as a Republican, as a conservative, is how are we going to pay for the project. I do understand that a couple of years ago, there was one amount that was announced to date 2024 for inflation, and we will get a sort of amount of money. I personally want to see the plan. I want to see the numbers, and if I am a legislator next year, then I will analyze that, and I will certainly work towards the accomplishment of this enormous project. My greatest concern is how much is going to cost the taxpayers, and my second concern will be who and how this new medical campus is going to manage, because so far we have not done a good job on the management side. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate Mendiola. Tom Fisher, your response? The question is, with the news this week that a location in Manila will be the site for a new public hospital, how will you work to build consensus and move forward with policies to support the construction of a new hospital?
Building a consensus should be very easy. It's the obvious choice for the construction of a medical complex in Manila. The reason I say that, there are so many benefits that can go from Manila. This is a major capital improvement that is going to produce jobs, it's going to produce the revenue, we're going to widen the number of lives, we're going to widen the number of access to the hospital. To me, this is very obvious. By putting the hospital in an already mature community, and that would be community. The people in Jigo, the people in Guerrero, thousands, the majority of the island are going to have free or fast, efficient, safe transportation to the hospital. And what's going to follow on the new hospital? There will be apartments. There will be a geriatric section. Long after most of us are gone, this is what leadership is looking into the future.
Thank you, Senator. Candidate Crisostomo, your response?
Yes, I just want to say congratulations. It's about time. This is for the other people. We keep dragging it. The hospital for me is in a good area where it is, and ECO's in the district in regards to what's going to happen in the area. As long as we build a state-of-the-art hospital, that's the main focus, and make people follow. It doesn't matter what all the other doctors are saying, ABC, or whatever, it doesn't matter. And for me, because we're going to attract actually even better doctors. Does that make sense? They're coming. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be shake up. These doctors are not happy. They can leave. Period. They're not happy, and we will end up getting extremely, very, qualified doctors. As a matter of fact, we need better doctors. I'm happy that things going down, and likewise the people who are seeing that it's happening.
And that's time.
Yeah, I see. Congratulations.
Thank you. Candidate Gumataotao, 60 seconds.
Thank you for the question. I actually believe the hospital should be built in Sabina, but I think we respect. You asked the consensus question, how do we get them to involve you have to start with infrastructure. You have to get GPA really involved first, because a critical part of building the hospital must be the utilities. So if we can utilize their effort to put utilities into the area first, that would be the key. And then secondly, and probably most important, is there an area that you can build up a new commercial area to allow more doctors to build more offices, but we have to identify the area adjacent to the hospital, and to get them to say, listen, this is the direction. And I really, again, while I believe that the best place for it is to learn, but to build consensus, we're going to have to get them, and also the young community to also do the same. We're going to need to get them involved to encourage that activity, which hopefully will allow more economic development in the area in the next 5 to 10 years.
Thank you. Senator Sabina Perez.
Thank you for the question. I think to build consensus, one needs information and transparency. And so if this hospital is going to require taxpayer dollars, of course we have to make sure that we're getting the best deal, right? Because when we talk about financing the hospital, more than likely it's going to be double the cost of construction. And the construction costs are already high and long. And so I think we need to do our due diligence to ensure that this is going to be a cost-effective invention. I'm also supportive of building the hospital. Our capital improvement projects have been challenging for Guam, but we really need to look on it. We look at our extra groups to allow. It's been really starting to go to the hospital. It looks like they're going to start to go in. I do want to really help best friend community in building this hospital.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Parkinson.
Thank you so much. As far as where I think the best place to build a hospital, the best place I think to build a hospital is on Guam. Just build what I've always taken the position of let's get a hospital built. But as far as how to get consensus, the way I feel you get consensus is, you be the change you want to see. If you want cooperation, you got to show cooperation yourself. And so, let's take it away from Governor Lula. Regardless of who the governor is, if I'm trying to be most effective at getting things done, can I be more effective with cooperation or resistance? And you can always be much more effective with cooperation. And so, wherever the location is going to be, whatever steps need to be done, we need to cooperate with a clear heart towards actually building a hospital, and we'll get it done, because that's really the most important thing, the human element. Let's make sure that we cooperate with each other.
All right, well done, Senator. All right, candidates, thank you for your thoughts on health. And we went right to left. We're going to go left to right for this next round of questions. And this is about the economy and economic diversity. Senator Parkinson, we'll stay with you if we may. 60 seconds to the topic of, given how many professionals have left our island for higher paying jobs and a lower cost of living, if in fact elected, how will you make it more affordable to raise a family on Guam? 60 seconds, please.
Well, one of the ways we can make it more affordable to raise a family on Guam is we need to make sure that we have jobs on Guam that can sustain and raise families. One of the things I've noticed is, we have a low engagement and very low turnout, and I've always been the believer that people don't really start caring about their community until they have that job that lets them build a family, lets them invest in the community, start sending kids to school. Because only then do you start caring about who's on your education board or your local legislature or city council. And so we got to look towards doing things to make sure that we have jobs that can sustain. Because what's the point of training up all this talent only for them to leave Guam and give the benefits of that talent elsewhere? So it's not enough to train them up. We need to make sure that the jobs are here, and we do that by developing new industries, and investing in new solar technologies, investing in new ways to do things in this modern post-COVID age. And so thank you so much for that.
All right, thank you very much, Senator. Senator Perez, what will you do in your capacity as a policymaker to make it more affordable to raise a family on Guam?
Yeah, this is one of the things I want to tackle in the Guam legislature. Cost of living is our one part. Basically, finance for the cost of living. What that entails is lowering the cost of insurance, lowering the cost of food, transportation, all of these things that we spend money on, in addition to increasing our wages. And so economy. We can start to then see a build-up of our own economy. And also what I'd like to do is create an export economy, which includes tourism, because tourism is about exporting our economy.
Senator. All right. Shawn Gumataotao, your thoughts, if you would, please, sir. 60 seconds on raising a family on Guam more affordably.
Well, I think most of us we're not going to argue that it's housing, and I think we should be putting more resources into the smaller land trusts to be able to look at the available land, and we need to map, survey, record, and then start to work with our folks to either leverage either federal USDA funds to be able to use those funds to get that first time and buy a home, working with our local banks to be able to maybe because a lot of folks are going to have a hard time to be able to make these payments, but we need to use leverage that, and then working with the land trust to identify places. Maybe we look at northern Guam as a place. Maybe we look at southern Guam, but we need to identify a place first. And then let's just say, I remember this 20 years ago when we were trying to do this in the Camacho administration, trying to find ways to put the land and get it back to people, and maybe they can build their homes.
All right, well done. Thank you very much. Dave Crisostomo, you were bringing up the topic about people leaving earlier. That is the problem. What do you propose as a solution? Yeah, so building or making it more affordable to raise a family on Guam.
Oh, okay. First of all, okay, we need to just want to put this up. When petroleum goes up, okay, everything will go up. We need to increase minimum wage. Okay, that's number one. Okay, if the market is not going down. Again, I would like, because I'm a small business owner, and I happen to be being a small business owner. Like I said again, if we start pushing legislation, in regard to small business, give them very good incentive, make it easier for them to own a business, so they can be their own self-boss. And right now, I really feel good just being my own boss, because it's still, I can't even fire myself. I can dictate how much money I can make, and it's a great feeling. And I hope all of you, I think many of small business owners feel that. That's the direction. Again, we need to increase the minimum wage. I know a lot of people that, do 2 jobs, and when people are working 2 jobs, they don't even spend time with their family.
Thank you, David. That's your time. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, Senator Fisher, 60 seconds to you, please.
Thank you very much. This is working?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I think that every question that we answered tonight is intertwined, and that is the loss of a talented population on Guam. The question is,
Thank you, Senator. Same topic to candidate Bistra Mendiola. 60 seconds, please.
When we talk about cost of living, what it entails accounting for our
Thank you.
A lot to be done.
All right. And Senator Roy Quinata, your thoughts on making a more affordable Guam?
Thank you. And I feel the sentiments of my colleagues too, right? Certainly the cost of living has certainly gone up. I think the reason why a lot of our people being improved outside. Infrastructure development is very important to me. I think offering other opportunities, again, leasing land for government land for 5 years is not a feasible business vision. So no one's going to invest in Guam if you only have a 5-year lease plan. That's a reality. You're not going to invest. So I think we can invest in those infrastructure developments, and then we can create more opportunities with hub zones, and again, attract our people to stay with better wages and better quality of life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Quinata. And our next question will be for our 3 newcomers. We'll be working backwards from candidate Mendiola, Gumataotao, and Crisostomo. The question is on public safety. Within the past 6 years, 71% of criminal sexual conduct victims in Guam were under the age of 18. Briefly explain one specific strategy or program that you believe would be most effective in protecting our children and making our community safer. Candidate Mendiola, 60 seconds.
This is a topic that is near and dear to me. I know a lot of women that have been going through this exact problem. Unfortunately, we're talking about sexual crimes in Guam. We're kind of in the big number, and it always bothers me why we are in this predicament. Yes, there is the drug issue, but beyond that, there is something else. I have not been able to put my finger on it. It has to do with substance abuse, definitely, and mental health. It has to do with parents being away from the home. Their children being taken care of, other people. The trust is there. It's a very complex issue. So before I understand why this is happening, I cannot give you a concrete answer. But definitely, first we need to figure it out. Why? Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Gumataotao, 60 seconds, please.
I think that we should work with the Ministry of Law and the Attorney General's office to increase the penalties for these types of crimes against young people. This is an absolutely an issue to our entire society that has to become absolutely acceptable behavior. And I think that when we think, well, maybe I'm only going to do a little time. I'm not an attorney, but I think I watched other houses create work with the judiciary and with the attorney general to create either penalties, not wrong, and there are things to this that we absolutely have to be wrong. And I'm sorry that deportation issues are important to the people that we just can't get into our society and at the same time.
Thank you. Candidate Crisostomo.
Yeah, I sort of watch really, this is actually this kind of behavior for me is totally unacceptable in my mind. I served in the U.S. Navy for 10 years actively. I think one of the reasons that this is going on is that many families are not communicating, talking, I was raised by a good father and good mother, so they were teaching us what's right, what's wrong. That's what it is. Likewise for we need to really do, I want to say it's really harsh, but again I said, this is unacceptable. I told you now we're going to go around because that behavior, we cannot have it floating around the society because it just keeps promoted, hey, it's okay. I'll be off to the state. We just need to get a little bit firm, and you have to be firm to get rid of the problem or the goal.
Thank you, Mr. Crisostomo. That's your time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to all of our candidates on the topics of health, the economy, public safety, and others. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break, but please stay tuned. You are watching the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association's Senatorial Candidate Forum. Stay tuned, because coming up next, our lightning round and then closing thoughts from your senatorial candidates.
2024 Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association General Forum. Special thanks to Docomo Pacific and Hyatt Regency Guam. We are committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. We do not endorse or support any political candidates or parties. Our goal is to empower individuals to make informed decisions and exercise their right to vote.
Half a day, I'm Carl Gutierrez. I was Speaker for 4 years and Governor for 8. And I'm proud to endorse Ginger Cruz for Congress because she has the experience, strength, know-how, and network to get the job done for Guam. As my policy advisor and communications advisor, Ginger was instrumental in driving our island's unprecedented growth. Her tireless dedication to the people of Guam was unmatched, and after her time at Adelup, she took her talents to Washington, D.C.
I think in my testimony I talked about stabilization and reconstruction environments being
working at the highest levels of the federal government. I know her love for our island, her deep belief that my fellow veterans are an abiding priority, and I know we can trust her with our future. Join me, vote for Ginger Cruz for Congress. Si Juus Maarsi.
I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Your vote shapes our future. Your vote is your voice. Vote. Period.
My opponent raised the issue of minority contracting, 8A as it's called, something his party is trying to cut and something he's done nothing about. My view is it should be more about opportunity for every single person on Guam. A dad or a mom running a small business, trying to put their kids through college. Doesn't everyone deserve a shot? When one person rises, we all rise. I will work to expand hub zones, the most widely used preferential contracting on Guam. I'm Ginger Cruz, and I approve this ad.
2024 Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association General Forum. Special thanks to Docomo Pacific and Hyatt Regency Guam. We are committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. We do not endorse or support any political candidates or parties. Our goal is to empower individuals to make informed decisions and exercise their right to vote.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You continue to watch the Senatorial Forum brought to you by our friends at the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association. I'm Jason Salas along with Matsuki Hirayama, and we have here distinguished members of our community who are seeking your endorsement on Super Tuesday on November the 5th as they seek placement in the 38th Guam Legislature. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in our lightning round, so we ask, as we pose these questions to you, you all have the paddles in front of you, and based on your feelings on the issue, just indicate yes or no all at the same time. All right, ready? All right, here we go, lightning round. Question number 1. Our tourism arrivals are still significantly behind 2019 levels due to COVID, foreign exchange rates, increased competition, and other factors. Would you support additional funding for GVB for a collaborative incentive program that includes airlines, hotels, restaurants, retail, transportation, and optional tours? Yes or no? Okay, hold them up, please. All right. Very well.
Question number 2, do you support policies that protect and uphold women's reproductive health rights, including access to comprehensive reproductive health care services, contraception, and safe and legal abortion? Yes or no?
Thank you very much. Question number 3. Candidates, have you been an advocate for resources to address maintenance and repair needs of our local parks, public pools, and beaches? Yes or no?
Candidates and senators, abuse, family violence, intimate partner violence, and substance abuse have been persistent challenges on our island. While historical responses have primarily emphasized intervention strategies, do you believe that prevention services are equally vital in addressing these issues? Yes or no?
Thank you. Next question. Do you believe there should be annual local funding dedicated to addressing homelessness on Guam? Yes or no?
Thank you. With higher wages found in various construction careers, will you support funding for programs to increase access and the number of women in construction careers, implement methods of tracking progress, and ensure accountability in your progress? Yes or no?
Next question. There have been multiple reports that vaping is now present and even prevalent in Guam's middle schools. As a senator, would you support stricter regulations of vaping?
Thank you. Within the past 4 years, have you ever utilized public transportation on Guam? Yes or no?
Once more.
Within the past 4 years, have you ever utilized public transportation on Guam? Yes or no?
All right, and our ninth and final lightning round question. Ladies and gentlemen and honorable senators, the Biden administration is pushing health insurance companies to cover over-the-counter birth control pills known as the O pill, which while a majority of Guam pharmacies now carry. Would you support this effort with local insurance providers, knowing that providing birth control does help lessen the need for abortion? Yes or no? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That does it for our lightning round. Please stay tuned because the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association Senatorial Candidates Forum continues with our closing thoughts from our senatorial candidates. Stay tuned.
2024 Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association General Forum. Special thanks to Docomo Pacific and Hyatt Regency Guam. We are committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. We do not endorse or support any political candidates or parties. Our goal is to empower individuals to make informed decisions and exercise their right to vote.
I know what it takes to be a non-voting delegate in the U.S. Congress. I know that it requires intelligence, ideas, and how to take advantage, not just of relationships, but of situations and conditions. In Washington, D.C., it isn't who you know, it is how you are known. Ginger Cruz is already known in Washington, D.C. from her previous service in the executive branch, in housing and the Department of Defense. She is known to be persuasive and clear-thinking. With her, we have a candidate who has plans, someone who knows how to navigate the Pentagon, not just Nimitz Hill. You know these two candidates. Who do you think can be a people-focused leader who will protect your interests? Forceful leadership is needed in these times, and this is the time for Ginger Cruz.
I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Guam, it's election season, and KUAM is here to keep you informed.
This year, we're bringing you the most comprehensive election poll. Your chance to make your voice heard.
Who will lead us into the future? What do you think? Don't just talk about change, be a part of it.
Round 2 of our interactive poll is now online. Make sure to go there and voice your opinion on who you think should lead our island in the next couple of weeks.
Remember, your voice matters. Make sure it's heard loud and clear. For your island, your future, your vote. Vote, period.
KUAM News, Guam's trusted source for election coverage.
On Guam, family is everything. We care for our aging parents and for our kids and grandkids. It's a blessing, but for some working families, it's also a lot. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad because caring for family isn't always easy, but it shouldn't be impossible. A key priority for me in DC will be working to expand federal child care for Guam families, fully fund universal pre-K, and increase access to elder care insurance and assisted living support. Because on Guam, we are all family.
2024 Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association General Forum. Special thanks to Docomo Pacific and Hyatt Regency Guam. We are committed to promoting community awareness, voter education, and active participation in the democratic process. We do not endorse or support any political candidates or parties. Our goal is to empower individuals to make informed decisions and exercise their right to vote.
Welcome back. Now to our closing statements from our candidates and senators. You have 60 seconds. As we wrap up our discussion today, I'd like to invite each of you to share your closing thoughts with recent feedback from voters emphasizing the significance of improving public schools and healthcare, as well as the necessity for cooperation among leaders. How do you envision fostering collaboration and working together along your future colleagues in the 38th Guam Legislature? We'll start with you, Senator Quinata.
Thank you so much for that question. Definitely appreciate that. I know that as a senator, I don't care about what party you come from, what creed, what belief you come from. I think that once we're elected, come January, it doesn't matter what party you represent. We're working for the people of Guam, which is you. And I want to continue to ensure that the next generation doesn't face those challenges. So I have to work collaboratively with my colleagues, whether or not I like them. And whether or not we agree with their policy ideas, we need to work on find some common ground and move forward from there. Delaying progress and delaying any moving momentum, moving anything forward is not good policy making and is not good leadership. So I want to work hard for you, and I want to continue to do my job and do my part and ensure that the next generation, from our nennies to our nanas, from our duk-duks to dudus, don't face the same challenges as the previous. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Quinata.
All of our senators are elected by the people to accomplish this one common goal: improve the lives of the current and the next generation. As a leader, as a professional, I believe that you have to adhere to the highest standards of behavior, communication, and understanding. Plus, I mean, this is Guam. We all go to each other's fundraiser, we support each other. Why not bring the same camaraderie in the legislature halls? Why not? We are all family here. We all know each other. We are always bumping into each other. Why be hostile? I don't understand that. So as someone that's been here for 25 years on Guam, I am really disappointed to see the hostility sometimes, the tension, where we can all work together as a team to accomplish, again, this one common goal that we have, regardless of party: improve the lives of our people, our children, and our grandchildren. That is all. Thank you.
Mendiola. Senator Tom Fisher, you have 60 seconds.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm obviously running for a seat in the 38th Guam Legislature. I'm number 9 on the Republican side. I would appreciate one of your votes. But if I'm going to ask for your vote, I have to tell you why I want that vote. And the reason I want to continue in the 38th Guam Legislature is I want to be a part of the future of Guam. I want to be a part of the new hospital that is going to be built in Mendiola. I want to be a part of increasing I want to be a part of decreasing infant and maternal mortality. That's why we're coming back with that doula bill. We are not going to go back. We're not stopping. I also want to see HPV vaccines in the schools. This is a preventable cancer. And an HPV vaccine will take care of it. We'll get rid of cervical cancer. We're going to get rid of penile, throat, all sorts of different cancers that our people suffer from. So I want to be a part of that part of the future. I also want to ensure reproductive health rights on Guam. I don't want our daughter, time's up, but I don't want our daughters and our granddaughters having to go through this debate just to establish or get people to recognize their constitutional right. Thank you. Over here.
Candidate Crisostomo, your thoughts on collaboration and your closing remarks.
Me, as a prior military veteran, the body as a whole, whether you're Republican or Democrat, there's 15, if I do get elected, there's 15 of us. The people of Guam has hired us to do the job, to move all the legislation, to better better the island. We, whether Republican or Democrat, we all need to communicate. We all need to listen to each other. If we can't do that, we went from hero to zero. We need to start paying attention, and respect each other. Bottom line. If we can't get over that hurdle, we are not going to get anywhere, and that's the way it is. Okay, we can't win missions or we can't accomplish things to make our island better if we can't even take that first step. That's very, very important. The other thing is that I'm hoping.
Time, but you can use your 30-second
I got my
lifeline.
30 seconds. I'm going to use it. Okay. This is very important. Okay, we need strong leadership, and we need to be professional as senators. Because if you don't have that, if you don't have those two characters or qualities, as a senator, okay, we are just wasting the people of Guam's time. Okay, we need to get this self-image. Okay, do things just to make us look better. Okay, we need to throw that out the window. We need to start working for the people of Guam, and I mean it. Okay, I'm 63 years old. Okay, I have, my family, we need to protect
That's time.
Guam.
Thank you, candidate.
Okay, thank you.
Candidate Gumataotao.
Yes, first off, thank you everyone for being here. Let me just start by saying, to answer your first question, is we need to, in the next legislature, must fund adequately the Adequate Education Act and ensuring that the Education Policy Board is in fact doing the work to ensure they protect our kids. Secondly, when it comes down to working together, I'm making a commitment tonight, and I've made this commitment throughout the island from Jigo to Malesu, that I will work with every single member of the next Guam legislature. We have to bring back respect and dignity to a branch that really has brought a lot of distinction to our community for nearly 8 decades. We need to bring it back. I want to be that candidate of change for that. I'm going to go ahead and use this in advance of this, just to say that this time wasn't enough to be able to share my ideas. I have a website at ShawnGumataotao.com. I have all the socials, but importantly, I'm here and I want to be able to offer up my 12 years of broadcast experience, my 10 years of senior level government experience, and my 12 important years as a small business owner to the next Guam legislature. I want to thank every single one of you for being with us tonight, and I look forward to further discussions as we get closer to Election Day on November 5th. I'm number 7 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Gumataotao. Senator Sabina Perez.
So in regards to consensus, I think we really need to put to rest the horse trading that goes on in the legislature. I support your bill, you support my bill. I think that really undermines the future of Guam, the sustainability of our island. We really need to put forward the best ideas and to come to solutions that really make sense for our island. I think this is what's really hampered us. I mean, we have $1 billion budget. Everyone should be able to thrive on that, but we're not. And I think the bottom line is that we need to reform the way the legislature does business, which is let's talk about, what are the solutions. It's kind of like with my science background, that I'm bringing my science background to the legislature, where we look at the evidence, the information. Let's base it on information, and let's look at what is the best policy moving forward. And, it's going to take all of our voices. And this is one of the sad things about this legislature, this past legislature, where there was the call of the question, where you shut down debate and you don't allow the senators that are representing you to speak their mind and speak their truths. And everybody has their truths.
That's time, but you have your 30-second lifeline.
And everybody has their truths, and we need to respect that, and we need to ensure that we support us. Yes, thank you. We need to ensure that we hear everybody's truths and to look for the best solutions for our island, because I want to leave Guam a better place than how my ancestors left it for me. This is my responsibility to you and to our people.
Thank you, Senator Sabina Perez. Senator Parkinson.
Well, as far as, fostering cooperation and teamwork, I'm always about that. That's kind of like my default setting, except when it comes to choice. When it comes to choice, there will be no compromise for me. We are going to defend that all the way, and I will not stop fighting for choice as long as I am your senator here in the legislature. And so I ask you to please consider me as one of your choices for the 38th Guam legislature. One of the things I like to think about is that I always try to leave organizations, people in my community better than I found it. And so as long as that I'm your senator, I make my solemn promise to you that I will leave better than I found it. So please give me a chance to continue to do the good work, because this is one of the most prideful jobs I've ever had, and it's been an honor serving as your senator. And then with my last 30 seconds, I'm going to use my lifeline. You know, I've already asked for myself, but I'm going to dedicate these last 30 seconds to my wife. She doesn't know I'm going to do this. She likes to ask me all these questions around the house. You know, do you love me? Would you love me if I'm a worm? So I'm going to use this sign today and answer some questions for her. Do I love you? Yes, I love you. Would I love you if you were a worm? Absolutely, I would love you if you were a worm. And yes, if I had the ability to time travel, I would go visit you when you were a kid. Yes, I would do that. That's my wife, Camille. That's my daughter, Camilla. These are the reasons I fight so hard for you, because when I fight hard for you, I'm also fighting for them. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our esteemed and distinguished Guamanians. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably seen them in church. You've been next to them at the store. You now hopefully understand more about them, who they are, where they come from, what issues are important to them, and how they want to represent all of us. It's something to think about when you make your way to the polling booth on November 5th. So for Matsuki Hirayama and all of our senatorial candidates, I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for watching or streaming.